the Luger, a true rock star in the world of firearms. Known formerly as the Parabellum Pistole or simply the Luger, it has earned its legendary status through a captivating blend of charisma, functionality, and an iconic design. This pistol oozes style with its distinctive toggle lock action and a profile that's as easily recognizable as a Hollywood celebrity. But that's not all, folks. The Luger didn't stop at just looking good. It wanted to be a movie star and video game hero too. With appearances on the silver screen and in video games, it's become a symbol of that classic World War II era firepower. And it wasn't just the one-hit wonder, it found its way into military hands around the globe, from Nazi soldiers to the Russians who were fans even before the revolution rocked the boat. With its winning combination of aesthetics, historical significance, and a widespread presence in pop culture, the Luger's legendary status continues to shine bright like a shooting star. The Luger is often stuff of legends, a pistol that's made countless appearances in movies and video games, often in the hands of those notorious Nazi soldiers. But here's the twist. Many folks mistakenly think that the Luger was exclusively a toy for the bad guys. Oh, how wrong they are. The Luger is more than just a footnote in German firearm history, it's a star in its own right. Let's dive into the rollicking backstory of this legendary pistol, shall we? The Luger pistol, as you probably guessed, gets its name from its creator, a certain George Johann Luger. This semi-automatic wonder was born in 1898, but here's the juicy part. It's a souped-up version of the Borchardt pistol. So up until 1904, folks in Europe called it the Borchardt Luger because, well, it had a mix of a makeover from its predecessor. Hugo Borchardt and George Luger were like peas in a pod, both working for the same German arms company, Ludwig Loh & Co. Borchardt was feeling generous and let Luger use his pistol as a jumping off point to create the Luger masterpiece. The Luger pistol is a bit of a rebel because unlike Borchardt's design, when you fold it up, the levers don't press against the flat return spring. Nope, they jive with the frame's bump instead. The flat return spring moved into the grip and eventually got replaced with a coiled spring. These changes had a magical effect. They shrunk the pistol's size and weight, all without losing any of its oomph. Fast forward to 1903, when the big cheese over the DWM company, where Luger was working, decided to give the pistol a name fit for a Hollywood hero, Parabellum. It's Latin and it means, if you want peace, prepare for war. Talk about setting the stage. The name also got passed down to the pistol's trusty sidekick, the 9x19mm Parabellum cartridge. And just like that, the Luger went from being a bit player to the star of the show. And now, let's unravel the secrets of who wielded this bad boy and how it got its groove on. In 1900, the Swiss Army said, "I'll take one," and made it official. The DWM company was like, "Sure, we'll whip up 3,000 of these for you." After that, the Luger pistols in their snazzy 7.65mm caliber became the hot item in town. Brazil, the Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, Turkey, they all wanted a piece of the action. But hold on to your lederhosen because in 1902, the United States decided to join the party and ordered 1,000 Luger Model 1900 pistols to test out in their armed forces. Now, here's the twist. In Germany, the home turf of the Luger, they were a little fashionably late to the game. Why, you ask? Well, it turns out they were busy cooking up a more potent 9x19 Parabellum cartridge with smokeless powder. Once that 9mm version came to life, it was like a rock star taking center stage in German military units. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty of how this baby works. Picture this. You've got the pistol and you're all set to rock and roll. First things first, you pop in the magazine. Oh, and here's the cool part, the magazine has this snazzy slant that sets it apart from the crowd. Next up, you're ready to get your action hero on. You yank on the folding lever and guess what? That lever moonlights as a sight plank, so you're aiming in style. When you pull the trigger, the action begins. The plank doubling as a sear sets the firing pin loose, which goes all percussionist on the cartridge's primer. But the show's not over yet. The gunpowder gases kick in, taking the folding lever for a ride, which then compresses the firing pin spring. And voila! You've got yourself a single-shot wonder, no automatic fire here. Now, let's add some zest to our journey through the quirky world of the Luger pistol. Picture this. Not only did Luger come in its standard form, but it also had an artillery version with a stretched out barrel and a boxy magazine. It was like the Rambo of pistols. And that's not all, the Parabellum package had an extra trick up its sleeve, a detachable shoulder stock holster, because sometimes a pistol needs a buddy too, right? Here's a plot twist for you. Parabellums weren't just for German hands. They were shipped to Russia in big numbers even before the revolution rocked the boat. And in the late 1930s, it was George Luger's design that gave a Soviet gunsmith, Pavel Voyevodin, a light bulb moment. He decided to craft his own pistol, one that was like a long-lost twin to the German Luger, and then called it his own creation. Pavel's pistol was like the hero stepping in to replace the not-so-cool TT pistol. It even passed some epic testing rounds with flying colors. But here's the cliffhanger. The Soviet Luger's grand entrance into the Soviet army was thwarted by the arrival of the Great Patriot War. Talk about bad timing. Now when it comes to specs, the Luger's got a few tricks up its barrel. It's got the accuracy to make a bullseye jealous thanks to the spacious ergonomic grip. But that's not all. The Luger's 9mm cartridge packs a punch, and its recoil is as timid as a kitten. Oh, and it's got a rate of fire that's smoother than a jazz solo. It even knew how to keep its weight in check, strutting around with just 1 kilogram or 2.2 pounds, even with a full magazine. The initial bullet speed is a zippy 350 meters per second or over 1100 feet per second, and it can hit a target up to 50 meters away with a maximum range of 100 meters, which is 160 and 320 feet respectively. And don't you dare forget about the classic German craftsmanship. This pistol was made with reliability as a middle name. But as they say, even our heroes have a few quirks. Luger had its fair share. The main players here were its price tag and the fact that it was a bit low-tech in the design department. In other words, the Parabellum was a diva to produce. Making one of these took 12.5 man-hours or a whopping 778 operations, including 136 that were all done by hand. Talk about high maintenance. It also had a not-so-green thumb when it came to materials. The pistol weighed 900 grams in its birthday suit, but it took more than 6 kilograms of metal to birth one. And you guessed it, all this high-maintenance glamour came at a high cost. 2 Lugers were equivalent to a whole Mauser rifle in terms of production expenses. Now, let's embark on a treasure hunt to uncover where the Luger has left its mark in the world of movies and games. First on the list is the game World War Heroes, where the Luger struts its stuff just as it did in real life. They've even thrown in a wrist stock for good measure. Talk about going all out, especially for a mobile game. Moving on to the legendary Call of Duty series, specifically World War II, here too, the Luger takes its place in the spotlight. And brace yourself for the nugget when it comes to range and magazine capacity. The game pays homage to the real deal. But the Luger isn't one to shy away from the silver screen. It's been a VIP guest in countless films about the Great Patriotic War. There are so many, I'd need a blockbuster-sized popcorn tub to list them all. You know the drill. If it's a movie about the Great Patriotic War, you're bound to see Germans toting Lugers.